Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about 3 reasons why the no contact rule works on everyone. Okay, so if you are, let's say, a bit skeptical about the no contact rule, you're not sure if it's the right move for you, then hopefully these 3 reasons why the no contact rule works on everyone will help you to understand why the no contact rule is really, really important, especially if you are trying to attract an ex back, or someone who has dumped you or lost interest in you or something along those lines. Or it could be that you're doing no contact with someone who has disrespected you. It doesn't have to be anything to do with romance, but essentially these are the 3 reasons why the no contact rule works on everyone. So first of all, the first reason why is because it is a good psychological trick to get someone else to think. Because let's say, for example, you have been in constant contact with this person, right? You have been contacting them, you have been in their DMs, you've been messaging them, right? And now suddenly you have decided to apply the no contact rule and you've stopped doing so. So you've stopped talking to them, okay? They're going to wonder where you went, right? So it's a good tool to use to get someone to think, right? And think and wonder about you, and to basically give them the space to start missing you, okay? Right? Because if they care about you and they love you, they will start to miss you if you're no longer putting in the effort, right? And you stop doing that, okay? So it is a good psychological trick to make someone think, okay, and think about their relationship with you and get them to feel basically your absence. So it gives them the choice whether or not that absence is important to them. So if your absence is important to them, they will reach out to you, okay, they will contact you. And if it isn't important to them, then you'll just never hear from them again, right? But that's a good thing, because now you know that they're not your cup of tea, they're not worth your time, because obviously if they cared about you, they would make an effort, right? It makes sense. Okay, so the second reason why the no contact rule works on everyone is if they care, right, they will fear losing you and want to do something about it. Okay, so once they've had that time to sort of pause and think and wonder where you've gone, right, if they're afraid of losing you, like someone who loves you would feel, they would contact you, right? If they fear losing you and they love you, they will contact you. Okay, you got to think of it in this term. Like if you phoned up a stranger, right, just a strange person who you've never met before, just a complete stranger, and you said to them, "Hi, it's me. I'm just letting you know that I'm never going to talk to you ever again." Right? Obviously, that person won't care, will they? They won't care at all, because they don't know who you are. There's no reason why they would want to, you know, they just wouldn't care, essentially, right? But if you say that to someone, or you show that to someone by not speaking to them, like for example, someone who's important to you, like perhaps an ex or something like that, you know, and you show that and you're no longer talking to them, that person, because they've spent a lot of time with you, are probably going to care at the fact that you're not speaking to them anymore, right? They're going to fear losing you. Right, so when you go into no contact with someone, the reason why it works so well is because if that person still loves you and cares about you, they're going to be afraid. They're going to fear that they've lost you. And if you mean something to them and you mean a lot to them, they're going to reach out. They're going to reach out eventually. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be in the next hour. It may not even be a week from now or even a month from now. But eventually, if they still love you and care about you, they will reach out to you eventually. Okay? They will get in contact with you. That's one of the things that you just simply have to trust about the no contact rule. If they love you, if they care about you, if it's meant to be and you're supposed to be with that person and they're supposed to be in your life, right, and they love you and they really want you, they will do something about it if they are fearing losing you, right? And if you've just disappeared, they will have that fear inside of them. Okay, now there are some people that talk to me and they say, yeah, well, my ex is stubborn. You know, the person that I'm doing the no contact rule on is stubborn. They're never going to admit that they want to be with me. They're never going to admit that they miss me. They're never going to reach out to me. You know, because they're stubborn, they're just not going to lay their cards out on the table like that. Well, if that's the case, then that's good, right? It's good that you're never going to hear from them again, because you don't want someone like that in your life. You want someone who's able to communicate their feelings clearly. Okay, if someone is stubborn and they can't own up to their own feelings, and they can't admit when they are wrong, and they can't admit when they're afraid of losing you, and they can't admit that you're important to them, then it's going to be extremely difficult to be in a relationship and to have a relationship with that person. You can't be with someone that's stubborn. It's too difficult, right? Unless, of course, you're stubborn yourself, and then maybe you guys are two peas in a pod. But essentially, right, if someone is stubborn, it's not a good idea to be in a relationship with them. It just makes things really, really difficult, because what that means is that you're always just going to have to clean up after their mess, right? If they're too stubborn to apologize and things like this, that means that you're the one that's always going to have to say sorry. You're the one that's always going to have to try and fix things. You're the one that's always got to reach out to them and try to make things work with them, because they're just too stubborn, right? And that makes life extremely difficult and just not very pleasant, right? And you deserve to be with someone and to have people in your life who are not like that, who admit to their own faults, right? Who can admit when they're wrong, who can admit and say sorry to you, right? You want someone like that in your life. You don't want someone who's stubborn, right? It just makes things extremely difficult, okay? So the third reason why the no contact rule works on everyone is the power of time reveals where you stand with anyone who you use the no contact rule on. And what I mean by that is this, right? And I've kind of already touched on it throughout this whole video. And that is, if they love you, if they care about you, with time, they will reach out to you, right? And if they, for whatever reason, you don't mean anything to them anymore, then you'll just never hear from them again. They'll be happy that you've gone into no contact. They'll be happy that you're no longer talking. So therefore, they just won't ever reach out to you. So the no contact rule works because basically it shows you who cares about you. It shows you who doesn't care about you. Okay? And that's a really important piece of information to know, because then you know who is worth your time and who is just a time waster. And you should not waste your time on people and put your energy into people who don't actually want to be there and wouldn't care if you just disappeared off the face of the planet. Okay? You want people in your life that respect you, that want to be around you, that love you, that care about you. Okay? And those are the people that will contact you if you go into no contact with them. Right? They will reach out eventually. Okay? And all these other people, right, and who you never hear from again, well, they just didn't care in the first place. Okay? Or if they did, they no longer do. And if they no longer do, then there's not really much you can do about that either, right? So ultimately, right, you don't want those people in your life. They're not worth your time, because what will happen, like being with someone who's stubborn, is that if you're trying to keep people in your life who don't want to be there, who don't care that you're in their life, it's going to make your life extremely difficult, because you're the one that's always putting in the effort. You're the one that's always initiating the conversation. You're the one that's always offering that olive branch. You're the one that's always having to apologize. Okay, it's just better to do no contact on those people, right, and to never speak to them ever again. And time will reveal who those people are if you use the no contact rule. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.ChristineLoveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.